All right, guys, we are now doing our intermediate slash advanced slash open West Coast swing, right? Now, on Monday night's class, I took us back through an underarm pass with a hand change, right? So we walked through an underarm pass where at the end of it, we did a hand change, right? I'll do it from a different angle so you can see it here also, right? So underarm pass for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a hand change 5 and 6. And we talked about the fact that we're not going to square up because that's going to shorten the arm. Na wasn't here then, so she's looking at me like, I don't remember this. But this was the day that Na wasn't here, right? So we're going to leave our right side to our partner. So that is how we are going to set up, how we're going to preface both of the patterns today. Now the patterns that we're going to be doing today, they're called reverse spins. They can be led with the right hand, the man's main hand, his left hand, or they can be led with a handshake hold. What we're going to be doing today is going through the handshake hold, but for you girls, now this is what you want to be with right now. So if you watch Na's feet, she does walk, walk, spin, spin, stop, and then finish the turn to do the anchor. So we don't square up to the man on the last step of the spin because that causes you to do too many spins and you get out of control for your anchor step, right? So you're literally ending up your shoulders down the line. You'll see that as Na does it at the end of the spin. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you see she's not trying to turn there at all because, by the way, this is exactly where the lady is on a normal pass. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? We're in the exact same position. So from this point, now Na's going to finish her turn and get set for the anchor. But that was after she got there, not simultaneous with. So let me show you what the bad version looks like so you understand. I'm the lady, right? I'm walking through here and I'm going 1, 2, 3, and you'll see me spin on that foot as I'm landing. Well, no, that's thrown my hips and my left side way out here, and whatever I do is going to be sloppy and uncontrolled, right? So the keys to this for the lady, number 1, it occurs for us that the spin is happening on 3 and 4. Well, that's exactly when it happens visually, but that's not when we did it. The lady actually starts her spin on the count of 2, the second walk. So she's doing 1, 2. This is where the lead happens. This is where the body starts its rotation, and then eventually that's where the foot breaks free of the floor and begins its rotation, right? So it begins on count 2 and ends on count and. So it's 1, 2, 3, and. Now we're done. 4, we go down the line, and then finish and rotate for 5 and 6, right? So we're going to see that here as I take Na through that, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Now, a couple important things about this. So, A, that's just showing you what the reverse spin is, right? We're going to be working with it with a handshake hold. Now, I'm going to go right in line with the camera. I'm going to show you what a typical swing dance teacher would teach you on this pattern. And that is they would open you out so they can close you up, right? Now, you've heard me say this in class before. We always exaggerate things so that your little tiny beady eyes can see it, right? But if you were to watch me do that little wind up and set up for that spin, did you get a wind up? You didn't see it though, did you? Because the wind up, when you watched it, only went maybe at most 1.5 inches, not like a foot. And when we demonstrate it so you can see what action is going on, we have to exaggerate it so you can see it, but that's not how big it is. Because if that were the case, and I take Na out here, well, she's going to go over there. Now all of a sudden I'm trying to get her to come back in for a spin. It's not going to work very well. I'm not aiding or assisting Na in this movement. I am not making Na, or the lady, do anything. What this move is for, watch carefully, is this. Okay, this is it. Na, get ready, we're going to do a spin. Got it? That's what the lead was for. Now, Na has to generate the spin on her own. It's not my job to make her spin. It's my job to tell her when to start the spin. Well, A, that there's one coming. B, when to start it. And C, when to stop it. Right? So that little wind-up action that I get, right? I haven't barely moved it, but she got the message. Now as she steps onto that second step, my hand comes up. That begins the rotation. My hand comes down before she gets to the last step, because this is where our arms always are at the end of a pass. And this reverse spin is a type of pass. Right? So the lady's still going down the track. She's still doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So that's not changing at all. We're going to reverse the picture around so you can see it from the other direction. You might not be able to see that little wind-up that happens, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you see, guys, my hand was down before she took that last step on count 4, and that's super important. If I leave my hand up, my partner better keep turning until I bring that hand down. And then when I bring the hand down, that signals she's done. So you want to understand that good female dancers are taught to keep turning if that hand stays up, right? So as you're progressing up through the levels, that's one of the things that we're working on doing. 1, 2, I'm actually folding this arm over her head so that it's down way before she gets there. Now she knows before she gets there, stop turning. And then we continue on and complete our action, right? So that's the basic reverse spin action. So now we're going to do it from that setup that we talked about in the last class. We're going to do an underarm pass with an underarm turn. We're going to change hands. Notice I am not facing Na. I am 90 degrees off of her. As she starts in, I'm going to bring my right hand slightly forward. Part of the reason I'm bringing that hand slightly forward, by the way, is because I'm stepping back away from the track. If I don't do that and I leave that hand there, Na's going to come over toward me because that's where my hand went. So I'm trying to keep my hand running on a rail, so it is going to go a little out in front of me, right? It's going towards you in the camera, if you will, right? But not a lot, just enough to keep it on the track. I start to bring my elbow in, I lift the hand up, stop right there. Notice right now, the connection we have is nothing but fingerprints, because I don't need to have any control over my partner. That's her job. It's not my job to control her. It's my job to tell her when and where she's supposed to do and for her to exercise control, right? So we're doing 1, 2, loops up, 3, and drops, 4, we continue the action, 5, and 6. All right, so it's a basic pass all the way through. You know, the man's part, we're doing our 2 walks, we're doing our triple step on the spot, we're doing our anchor on the spot. All right, so that's version 1 of this. Version 2 of this pattern is this. I'm going to do the same thing. I step back, I brought the arm out, I curl the arm, I start to lift it up. As it goes over Na's head, it's going to continue going until it gets over the back of my neck. And then we're going to slide that arm down off of each other as we continue to go through the pattern and end up at our anchor step, and the hand just slides down the arm until I catch the wrist or the hand, right? So from this handshake hold, we're doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to do it from a different angle so you can see that. So we're doing 1, 2. You can see the hand loop up. And by the way, just a quick reminder, we were talking in the other West Coast swing about where the lady was at the end of her first 2 steps. Notice Na's on that side of me. I'm not chasing her across the front of me, right? And that's the ideal position that we want her in, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Right, so we're going to do that one more time. right? So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So at speed, it looks quite a bit slicker than that, right? So at speed, it's a 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So that is our reverse spin with a handshake hold, and then a reverse spin with a handshake hold with the head loop. Now, by the way, you can't do that head loop when you do the normal hand, which we haven't worked on that pattern, but just in case you think, oh yeah, this should work the other way, if I do it with this hand, it gets to be quite complicated. There's a double loop in there, right? So we're going the simple version of, and basically it looks like this. I go over Na's head, I just keep going over my head. So I'm doing a 2-head loop, not a head loop, but a double head loop, because it's going over 2 heads, right? Last time for you on this one with the head loop, and a 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. All right, so there you go, guys. Some fun stuff for you to practice. So that is our advanced open West Coast swing. It's a reverse spin and a reverse spin with the man's head loop. And both of those are with the handshake hold. All right, guys, thank you.